Hello, welcome to episode 234 of Learn, Do, Become Radio. I'm April Perry, and today we're talking about how to fix the overwhelm with this 3-minute technique. And I hope you're excited. Now, if you're listening when this podcast goes live, we have 2 upcoming live events on April 23rd and April 25th, helping you clear the space and then build your Step Command Central all in one day. I'm pretty excited about that. But all the details for that and how to register and get started is at learndobecome.com/step2024. Our Clear the Space live event is totally free for anyone in the community. And then our Step Mastery members, the people who are learning how to build the Command Central inside the program, are invited to the one-day event on Thursday the 25th. So please go check that out, learndobecome.com/step2024. Okay, let's dive into this 3-minute technique. I want to show you how to do this and how to fix the overwhelm because I personally just used this recently and it made a huge difference, and I've used it over and over again, so I know it works. But first I just need to lay a little bit of groundwork. So the tension that you might be feeling in your body, or the worry in your mind, or that frustration you get with everything around you getting in the way, is often caused because we think we have more to do than time, energy, or skill to do it. Now, I know you might be thinking, April, I don't just think I have too much to do. I know I have too much to do. And I understand that feeling because you probably are very responsible. You have a big heart. You have a lot of things currently on your plate and maybe a lot of people who depend on you and bills to pay and all the things to do. But I want to show you how we can actually adjust what's happening inside of our minds and in our lists and our Command Central in a way that can help us to feel peaceful and calm even when there's a lot at stake. So I hope that this podcast will bring you a lot of hope and excitement and optimism and just help you feel lighter, because that tense feeling that we get in our bodies isn't fun. We don't want to live like that. So let's find a better way to do it. Now, here at Learn to Become, I talk about the Step Command Central all the time. And it's a system that holds all the goals, papers, tasks, messages, projects, files, and every detail of life so that our brains can be present and creative. When your mind is constantly spinning and you're trying to keep track of all of those emails you need to respond to, or texts you need to respond to, or phone calls you need to make, or errands you need to run, or things you need to clean, or things you need to build, or new projects you want to start, when your brain is going through all of that, you feel like you're going crazy. You feel like if anyone just asked me one more thing, I'm just going to burst. And you start feeling like everything else is just slowing you down. So instead of feeling present and happy and looking at nature and feeling like, oh, this is a great life I get to live, we start to just feel this burden every day. And you feel like you're just waking up to the long list and then going to bed with a longer list. And you're thinking, well, where's the joy in that? Where's all this joy I'm supposed to be feeling? And I want that joy to come back, okay, for all of us. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, inside that Command Central, we share how our lists, like the regular to-do list you make that has 1,000 things on it, how it can be divided into calendared events and next actions and routines and projects. And we have a lot of podcasts and videos that cover those in depth. Plus, we teach with the full Command Central how a lot of it can go onto a someday list or, incubation, or get totally off your radar for the time being and just come back to you when you need it. So today, I want to focus on a mistake that we often make when it comes to creating our current projects list, okay? It's amazing how just learning how to fix this mistake can make a huge difference. The current project list is a list that holds 1 to 8 projects for the month, and it helps us to see what we have on our plate in addition to those calendared events, routines, and other one-off tasks. So I have a photo on our show notes page. If you go to learndobecome.com/episode 234, you can see the pictures. But I have first a photo of what my current projects list looked like mid-March, okay? So I have I have 5 projects written on the chalkboard. And in the me category, it was my health program I've been doing this year and physical therapy for my broken shoulder. That's doing much better. In my family category, I just wrote down special time with each family member. And in the beyond category, that's paid or volunteer work, I had written down our step revamp because we just updated the program, which is why we're having these live events coming up, and a YouTube course that I'm taking and making an updated plan for our YouTube channel with that. I kind of paused the channel when I broke my shoulder because I just couldn't do everything. So anyway, those are the 5 projects that I had on my current projects list. I hang it up in my office and it says me, family, beyond. Okay, so now let's hop into the 3-minute technique I want to show you. It's all about evaluating your current projects list and asking, is this actually what I'm working on right now? Now, if your list is feeling great and you're moving forward without stress or pressure, you probably don't need to do this. Just keep on moving, doing great. But my personal problem during the first couple of weeks of March was that I had those 5 projects written on my list, but I had a lot of tension in my body. There was this constant weight on my shoulders, and I couldn't really figure out why. I couldn't pinpoint it. I just knew my whole body was feeling stressed. And then this thought came into my mind. April, maybe you think that's what you're working on, but you're secretly trying to do many other things at the same time, and your brain is overwhelmed. Now, sometimes it's weird because my brain will think, or like my conscious brain will think everything's just moving along fine. But when my body starts getting tense, I just know that there's something going on that's more subconscious. And so learning how to identify, like, what's your body telling you? It's a really important skill. And I'm not perfect at it, but I'm getting better at it. Okay, so here's what I did. I just sat down with a little spiral notebook and I wrote my current projects on the left. So basically what was on the chalkboard, but then I realized I had added a 6th project by committing to finish reading this great book. And then after I wrote down those 6 projects, then I made a column on the right of that little spiral notebook and I titled it Actual Projects I'm Doing. So I will read to you my actual projects. I had my health program and physical therapy, but I also had internally committed to read 3 to 6 books, and I started working with my coach, so I had homework and other things to do. That was in my personal section. That's 4. Then in the family section, I had connective, fun time with each family member, which I was doing. I was doing activities with them and building relationships and having a great time. But I also was doing a getaway with Eric, and there were a lot of like subtasks and things that needed to go into that, making sure someone was there to walk Sunny, making sure Spencer was taken care of, getting some things purchased for the trip, packing up all my food, right, that type of thing. And then I also had planning Easter weekend because we were having our whole family here, plus our in-laws family was coming, and we had just like a lot happening that weekend. And planning spring break because Spencer was off and Eric and I wanted to go take him somewhere for a couple days. Okay, so that, I think I put too many bullets on there, but I think that was 4 more. Okay, so I had 4 personal and 4 family, and then this is what was in my beyond. I was working with Aaliyah on her new Routines Made Easy program, which is awesome. So we'll link that in the show notes as well. I was doing the step revamp completion. So we were still finishing up the project, going through all the pages, doing all the editing, things like that. Then I had the step revamp promotion because we wanted to do these live events and we want to let people know the program is ready. Come on in. So that's a whole other project. The YouTube course and plan, plus new ads in creative because we are creating a new system for getting new ads in place because we put them on social media and invite people to come to learn to become. We also had a newsletter sponsorship. It was our first one we were doing, so we were making up a new page and writing copy for the sponsorship and things like that. And then I had volunteered to be in charge of our neighborhood Easter egg hunt, which was for 50 to 80 children. And we were trying to get all the supplies for that. Plus, we had this fun prize table at the end. It was awesome. And I was supporting a friend in need. There was a friend that needed a lot more attention and feedback and texting and calling and things. And so that was the project. So when I actually wrote down what I was doing, it ended up that I had 16 projects that I was trying to accomplish that month. but I only had 5 written down and then had added a 6. Okay, so comparing 6 to 16 projects, as soon as I saw it written down, I recognized, okay, that's why I'm feeling so stressed, because I was subconsciously pretending 10 of my projects didn't exist. So it literally took just 3 minutes to figure this out. And then I was able to make a new plan. And so I have a photo on the show notes page of what my updated no tension list looked like. And I'll just share what I did and then what I did with all the projects that couldn't fit on it for the month. Okay. So new projects list. For the me category, it was still health program, physical therapy, work with my coach. Family, I just have the getaway with Eric. And beyond, I put routines program with Aaliyah, the step revamp, the Easter egg hunt, and support my friends. Okay, so this took me from 6 projects to 8, but they were 8 real projects with none hidden in the background. And so that was that first step, is making sure it's an actual list of projects, it's realistic, it's what I'm really doing, and none of them are hidden. But I want to share what I did with the extra stuff. So I just made little notes as I did this so I could share it with you because, wow, it made a huge difference. Okay, so first, just the books that I'd committed to read just became totally optional. I added them to my reading list, but I didn't put them in front of me with expectations to get through them all. And that was such a little subtle approach. And it wasn't anyone else saying, April, you have to read these books. But I do often, I have this little personal internal expectation, and that does cause some level of responsibility. So anyway, just added that to my reading list and said, hey, if I read the books, great, but I'm not committing to get them done. Okay, then I delegated our Easter weekend plans to our children. I just sent a couple of texts and said, hey, I will pay for any groceries you want, but please just you plan the menu. You guys tell me what you want to do. Here's what I'm already planning, and then everything else, I just need some of your effort and feedback. And they did great. So that just reduced the obligation I had secretly given myself. I also then took planned spring break I made as a calendar reminder for the following week, because I did a getaway with Eric, and then the next week we did a little spring break activity. And I didn't need to have them both planned at the same time. I wanted to, but it was just too much trying to coordinate. So I thought, hey, I can actually plan that the next week. So just made a little calendar reminder, and then my mind could just rest. I also then decided to take the step revamp promotion and put that on my next in line list of projects. And I'm like, I'm not even going to worry about that until after I'm done with the program. Once I've finished every page and it's all functional, we've moved it over and it's accessible to everyone, then we'll think about the promotion. I just need to focus on one thing at a time. And then I added the YouTube course to my optional list of things to watch or listen to, but I made a calendar trigger to follow up with it after spring break. So I'm just moving things into the future, but giving myself little calendar reminders. And I also decided to work on the new ads after spring break, and I delegated the preparation for the newsletter sponsorship. I spent maybe like 20 minutes on it, did my part, and then I sent it over to Eric and Aaliyah and said, hey, I've done this part, here's what you guys can do, and then we were just done. So it was seriously amazing to feel the results. And I also did work with my cognitive therapy coach. That was one of my current projects in the me category, to help me get to the bottom of why I feel I need to do so many things. And that was an eye-opening conversation for another podcast. But taking the time to then adjust my expectations and simplify my current projects list had a physical lightening effect on my body. It was like night and day. From tension to just feeling relaxed and calm, like, okay, I can do it. And the thing is, I've said this over and over again, that when your current projects list gives you a lift, then you know it's optimal. But when it feels heavy, sometimes you need to make some adjustments. The problem for me was that my list looked good. It's just that it wasn't complete, okay? And so I just wanted to give you some tangible examples so that you could think about your own life. And I encourage you, get out a little sheet of paper or a digital note and write down, what is it I say that I'm doing this month? And then what am I really doing? Because if you have 30, 40, 50 projects that you're expecting yourself to work on right now, your brain is kind of going into this hyperactive mode. And then when you realize, oh, I actually need rest and nutrition and I need time with my family and I need to just have buffer in my life, your brain doesn't know what to do with that. It's like, well, but you can't because you've got all the stuff you've got to do, right? And so, it's a process, I think, for all of us. But if right now you're feeling like I had been with that constant tension, perhaps this 3-minute exercise will really be helpful for you. You're doing great work. If you're here at Learn, Do, Become, it's because you care about your relationships, you care about taking care of yourself and being healthy, and you want to live your purpose, and you want to be able to do the things that really matter to you. And that's awesome. But we can't do everything at the same time. And learning to adjust what's going on in our minds will help so much. And then the more we do it, the more we start to recognize when we need it. So now when I start feeling a little tense, I think, hang on, April. What are you trying to make yourself do right now? What are your crazy expectations? How can you actually get to a really healthy place? And now it's quicker and quicker. So, okay, sending lots of love. I hope that you can attend our Clear the Space live event and our all-in-one step event. This is the first time we've attempted to build Command Central in one day. But now that we have our program all revamped, I'm like, oh, we totally can do it. We have an agenda all put together. It's going to be fun. So, okay, take care. Come to learndobecome.com/episode 234 and all the links will be there. Okay, sending so much love. We'll see you soon at learndobecome.com.